All right, what's going on, everybody? Gaby Card Stacks here. I've got about 40 cards that I'm submitting to PSA this weekend just so that I can get it in for grading for this new $16, $17 special that they're offering this month. I will be sending all of my cards to DT Sports Cards. He is local to Phoenix, which is nice. For $2, he will wipe down all the cards, review them, make sure, if there's a minimum grade that I want, we'll meet that, and then he'll put it in with all new supplies and ship it off to PSA and handle that whole submission process for me. So great value for me. I've only graded like 10 cards in my life. I've had a decent gem rate. I've only got a couple 9s and mostly 10s. Which is good. So I went through all of my cards. I went through probably about 800 cards, inspected, the top half cards that I would actually consider grading. So these are the 40 cards that I believe I'm gonna send in, and just wanna make a video, show you what I'm sending, why I'm sending it, and hopefully, a lot of 10s here, but I do want to make some notes on some. All right, so first one here, this Shedeur Sanders, blue to 199. Picked this up at the State Show from someone who does grade, but mostly some of the higher end stuff. So this was in a Colorado box that they just had a ton of Shedeur and Travis. This looked pretty good. I hope for a 10 on this. I don't, again, I'm very amateur at this. I'm sending for review, but I think this one could likely get a 10. All right, this one, I'm interested to see how this plays out. Jalen Milroe, champion colors from On It. Oh, actually the centering is pretty bad on the backside. So maybe, I'll just send this for review. Centering is pretty bad on a lot of these cards. This front looks pretty good, but some of them do look pretty awful. But you see here on the back, that does look pretty off-centered, pretty heavy on the left side. So maybe I'll hold this one out, but otherwise the surface, everything looks super clean, but I will actually put that off to the side. I might not send that in. Again, maybe it's worth it just to have them review for $2, but that already looks off to me. I didn't really pay attention to that. All right, little Harold Perkins gold auto, number to 54 of 50, jersey match for his new jersey. He was 40 and now he's 4. We'll see. I think this could 10 as well. One of my favorite players. I think he'll be a top 10 pick next year. He moved to linebacker, which I don't love. They said he was an issue or a liability on the edge as a run defender, and people would just go right to his side. He can't get off blocks. He's a little bit too small. Well, when you're playing linebacker, you've got 2 responsibilities in a 3-man front. So I don't, they're going to be running right at you if you're a liability in the run and make you pick the wrong gap, whatever the case may be. We'll see what happens, but I think this could hopefully 10 as well. I've got another one. Let's see what this one is, 20 of 50. I felt pretty good about both of them, although one of them did have like maybe a little dimple. Maybe it's that one on the actual sticker auto itself, or maybe that was another card. Oh, okay, maybe that was just the penny sleeve. I don't know. I'm gonna swap this penny sleeve out though, but I feel pretty decent about these. Again, it's nice to just pay $2 to have them reviewed just in case I miss anything myself, but I feel pretty good about those Harold Perkins, I would say. At least one getting a 10. All right, this one is definitely gonna test me a little bit. There was a minor print line somewhere around here. I still feel good that this will 10. I think I like my chances here. 35 out of 50 on the Ricky White. Should be one of the best receivers in the country. He is the top returning receiver in terms of receiving yards. So this is not going to be like a huge multiplier. It's not going to be a huge banger if it 10s, UNLV, whatever. But I believe in him, and I think he'll do well. Hopefully it grades a 10. Jalen Daniels, I'm just hopeful on this one. It just looked pretty clean, and a gold auto of his would do some pretty decent numbers, I would say. I've got a lot of watchers on this on comms or on eBay, so penny sleeve looks clean. I mean, he swaps out all the penny sleeves, but I just don't want to send any junk to him, I guess. Phil Maffa, I got this from Card Collector 2, and I doubt it was just something that he reviewed for grading purposes. So yeah, just gonna hope that we get a 10 on this one. Next we've got 3 Tetro McMillans, a guy that I'm super high on. I expect him to be a top 10 pick. We'll see what happens. These look pretty clean. I could probably let go of 1 or 2 of these just because I don't think people are gonna be buying graded McMillan right now, more of a stash for later on in the year, but maybe I might take 1 or 2 out, but I'll probably review one of those again, and as well as the penny sleeves. I just ordered new penny sleeves and Amazon canceled my order. They came from Ultra Pro it was like $6 or $7 for like 1,500 or 1,000 penny sleeves, and they canceled my order, those jerks. All right, we got 2 Jackson Arnold. These look pretty clean. I would expect one of them to 10, and I think I felt just good enough just to send both. He should be one of the hotter quarterbacks. I don't necessarily believe in him, but he's gonna have hype. He was like the #2 quarterback in the country 2 years ago now. Devin Neal, I've got a ton of these, and this I'm okay with sending. Again, not a huge prospect, like, you know, I don't know. There's not gonna be a whole lot of buyers for Devin Neal, and he's not going to be a huge prospect, but a guy I believe in. And for me, even if this 9s, I think I'll be able to break even on it. I think I'll be able to break even on a lot of this stuff. I'm into this card for probably $1. A lot of these cards, not into them for a lot, but I just feel like with the grade, even at a 9, I break even. So that's why I feel good about, you know, potentially putting $800 up front into grading, because I know even if it 9s, I'm still in a decent spot. I can get out of my money. If it 10s, then that's where obviously you make your money. 2 cards here, Shadur Sanders Sapphires. I feel pretty good about these. I've got quite a few copies, so I inspected a lot of them. And these should do, I think, about 120-ish as a PSA 10 last I saw, or that's what they were listed for, so probably a little less. But I think even as a 9, this would up the value. You can get them for about 12 to 15 bucks. I imagine a 9 you could probably sell for about 40 bucks, so I guess, you know, maybe you're still close to breaking even, but in terms of increasing value, I think it's still worth a shot. All right, a couple Travis Hunters. Again, he's just gonna be super hot, so as long as we can get a 10 on one of these, I feel good. But, you know, I've got tons and tons of Sapphire. I probably got 20 copies of this, and I was just, you know, getting super hyper fixated on the tiniest flaws. So I think this is just good for me to learn. I'll be able to see, okay, you know, what exactly, you know, is the difference between a 9 and a 10 for some of these minor flaws. So we'll see what happens. You know, you just got to learn. You just got to learn by doing, basically. So these, hopefully, again, you know, 10s, we'll see if there's something I missed, and hopefully DT will catch it. Carson Beck, a lot of poor quality on the Sapphire as well. A lot of them have really bad scratches on them. And it's just a manufacturer thing. So it was really tough to find a good quality one, but this was kind of the one. I think I just saw one sell for 60 bucks. So not a huge multiplier by any means. You know, after grading, you know, and the cost of the actual card, you probably double up, but we'll see. Brady Cook, I think, was another one where really poor surfaces on them. A guy who's not going to be a huge prospect. Maybe he creeps up during the season, but I felt good about these 2 copies. This one, we'll see. Another card that has really bad centering historically. When you look at all these on-card autos from Topps McDonald's All-American, centering is a little off. It's a little heavy on that bottom left corner, and even the top. It leans a little bit more on the left there. We'll see. But otherwise, the paper, it looked pretty clean, so I felt decent about it. If he thinks, you know, there's something wrong with it, I'm okay if that one. I just think it would be sick as a 10, and I think it's got a shot. These Jujus are interesting. These are just the pink first, and the centering threw me off at first, but I looked at a lot of the other PSA 10s of her, Caitlin Clark. The centering just looks a little, or the border looks a little heavier on the left on all of these. I don't have a centering tool, but maybe you can look at kind of the first Bowman logo and the Bowman U logo. I don't know, it does trip me out, and it makes it look a little off-centered, and even this little arc looks a little heavier, but a lot of the 10s look like this. So we'll see. Of course, you know, I'll let the expert make that judgment call. Same with these, just the chrome bases. One of them looked a little bit lighter. I think it might be this last one. I don't remember, but again, for $2, he'll review it. He'll let me know if the centering is going to cause it to 8 or 9, and I feel good. I feel good about just breaking even. Hopefully, of course, we can just get 110. Those are long holds for me with Juju. This, I think, will 9, but I think it's just a nice little color. $2.99. I'm into it for about 25 bucks. So nothing crazy, but and that's the thing with all these cards. There's nothing crazy in here. These are all, by all accounts, you know, $10 cards, but I just thought I felt comfortable sending them in. I think they're liquid. And I think it's just a good start for me to grade. A lot of my higher end stuff, you know, I get sketched out with just this tiniest of surface marks, and you know, I think there's still good value in this. Alexander Sarr, refractor in 2 base. Again, you know, kind of weird for me to think about sending in base, but I think he'll be the #1 pick in the draft. These looked pretty clean. This I could maybe see, you know, a minor issue here, but I felt good about the base. Those look pretty clean. So we'll see. But I could also see one of them getting a 9. I don't know what I'm looking for, but again, that's why I'm using DT and that's why I'm trying this out. This Hidalgo, I think will 9. There was a tiny surface issue down here, but again, just a color match. This one's like a 20-ish, $25 card. I'm gonna send it. I'm okay if that 9s, and again, long-term plays here. And then Sapphires, I ordered, I think 34 Sapphires. Again, the quality was pretty poor, but I think there were enough where I'm okay getting 9s on these. I think I can break even. I think that these were actually pretty clean. So again, even if I can just get 2 10s, 3 9s, I'm totally okay with it. This is all for learning purposes in this PSA special. It is a little scary putting up, you know, potentially $800 up front for grading, but again, I think you can slowly chip away and move these and get the money back. And this Michaela Williams, this is another long-term play. Green, this one looked pretty clean. I think there was a slight issue, so I would be disappointed if this were to 9, just because there's not a huge market. You know, maybe a loss on this, but I think a 10 would look pretty sick. So that's everything that I'm sending. I'm gonna, I don't know, let me know. I mean, by the time you see this, it is gonna be way too, you'll probably see this like mid-April, and I'm submitting this like the last week of March, so I'm just super far ahead in videos. But that's everything that I'm sending. I might hold back on that. I'll just let the guy review it for $2, why not? He will, like I said, wipe it down. No products or all the card care nonsense and whatnot. I personally don't care if people use it. You just don't need to talk about it and brag to people, I guess. So this is everything that I'm sending. I'll keep you updated, and I'm excited, but also nervous, but it's also fun. I've been talking about buying the grades, so probably done enough rambling now, but if you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.